If you ever looked at lash extensions and you were not sure what was wrong with that set, you knew something was off, maybe it was done on you, maybe it was someone else, and you're not sure why, but that set looks a bit cheap and not very well done. So I'm gonna tell you today 7 things that might be making your lash set look cheap and not very good. And if you don't know me, I'm Monica. I'm a lash artist and I deal with lashes every day, and I get a few clients coming from different salons, so I encounter a lot of these issues on their lashes, and then when I remove and get a new fresh set for them, they're always like very happy and like, oh my god, what did you do different, because these ones look so much better. I've started doing lashes 6 years ago, so I've seen a lot of things and trends come and go all the time. So I'm gonna be pointing some things about that, because nowadays we have a very different idea of what a good lash extension is. Before, when lash extensions had like their boom in like, I don't know, maybe around 2015, 16, like things were really big. It was very dramatic, king K lashes with single spikes and thick, long, voluminous lashes, right? Nowadays we changed a little bit. We've transitioned to a more minimalist area, the clean girl aesthetic. So most people don't really want lash extensions, but that bad idea of what they used to look like is still there in the back of our mind. And most people, when you say like, do you want to try lash extensions, they're like, no thanks. Sometimes I even get comments here on YouTube and they're like, ew, I don't want that plastic fake thing on my face. And that's fine, you don't have to get them done. This is very particular. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it, and that's fine. If you want to know differences, for example, between lash extensions, lash lift, and lash clusters, I've done a video about that very recently, so you might want to go check it out. Okay, but today we're going to be talking just about lash extensions. And the first thing I'm going to say that is a problem for lash extensions that are making your set look cheap is the length. Like I told you before, we used to like this very long and voluminous lashes, and to be honest, I still see a lot of that in the US and UK. People still like very long lash extensions. And in Asia, we are in a very different vibe. Here we don't really do like those very crazy lashes most of the time, at least not here where I live. I live in Hong Kong, so a lot of my clients want something like more natural, like something that they can use to work, to the gym, to go to the supermarket, you know. So we don't go do anything very crazy. I have very few clients that do that. I could probably count in one hand how many clients I have that actually have like more crazier lashes. So that would be one thing. What is a good length? Well, that will really depend, but to be honest, I'm gonna share with you what I do with my clients. I usually go from 8 to 12, that's my standard size. But if they're like smaller, more petite, or have smaller eyes, then I'll go like 8 or 7 to 11. Those are lengths that I really like. They do look natural. The 12 still gives some length. But of course, some of my clients, they like have bigger eyes, or they're very tall. They have like bigger features on their faces. So I would need to go a little bit longer maybe on the lashes. It's very particular, really depends on the person. But just so you have an idea, just because I know outside, like a lot in the US, I see a lot of people doing like 10 to 15, 10 to 16. And it's a big difference if you compare a 10 to 16 set to an 8 to 12. And most people have no idea what a 12 means, what a 15 means. They don't know. They don't know if it's short, if it's long. You know, they have no idea. This is just so you understand a little bit what I'm talking about. So the second thing we're going to be talking about that makes your set look cheap, it might be the color. Not that the dark black, the jet black makes it look cheap, but if you want it to look more sophisticated, you might want to try maybe a mocha set or a brown, a light brown, especially if you're blonde. Because when you're blonde, it's a very big contrast from like your blonde hair to jet black lashes. So some of my blonde clients, I actually do a brown set on them, and it looks so nice and so natural, and it's still like full and dark, and there are so many shades of brown. You just have to check if the artist you're going, they have the brown. Maybe sometimes if they don't have, if you let them know in advance, maybe they can order just for you, you know, to try. Sometimes they want to try that, but just because no one asked, then there's no reason for them to buy it. The third thing, I think is one of the biggest ones actually, will be the finish of the lashes. So before, all lashes were basically like very shiny and plasticky looking. Nowadays, a lot of brands do like matte lashes. So those will be the best ones. Matte lashes look better, they look more luxe, more sophisticated, much better than the plasticky ones. The plasticky ones look really cheap. Yeah, they don't look really good, especially when you take photo and like with a flash and the photo is very close to your face. It doesn't look great. One thing I would say about the more plasticky, shiny, not plasticky, but the shiny finish, I don't hate them for wet sets, because wet sets are supposed to make your lashes look like they're wet, and I find that the shiny finish actually gives more of that idea that they are wet, but it's not a rule. Like mine, the ones I use, they are still matte ones and they still look really good. But it's just one thing, like if you only have the shiny ones, maybe you can try a wet set with them. The fourth thing we're gonna be talking about is the application layering. If the lashes are not done in layers, if the artist didn't know how to work with your layers, they're gonna look messy. And messy lashes look cheap. They don't look good. You know, they look like something should be done on your eyes and it's not working. Okay, so also, you should brush your lashes at least twice a day, at least after you shower and when you wake up, because those times are when they're the most messy. Actually, that was my tip number 4 and number 5, because I mixed up the layering and the brushing. Okay, so the layering would be tip number 4, brushing them at least twice a day would be number 5. So to number 6 now, we're going to be talking about the wrong mapping for your eyes. If your eyes don't match the lash set, it looks cheap because it doesn't look like it suits your face. So go to someone that they're gonna know how to identify things on your face, or if you've done lashes before, you tell them things that you like, that you didn't like. But ideally, they're gonna be mapping out your face and they're gonna be able to see if your eyes are like more downturned, if they're almond eyes, if they're round eyes, if they are wide set, if they are close set. Because for example, wide sets of eyes, people that have their eyes a little bit more further away from each other, should avoid at all costs doing cat eye, because cat eye will pull even more their eye, so it's not gonna look very balanced, their faces. And for example, people with like bigger eyes might need to avoid dull mappings or decurls, you know, so it really depends. If the set doesn't match your face, it might not look good, you might regret it. Before I tell you our 7th mistake, if you want to learn how to do lash extensions, follow me on Instagram or check the links in the description. I have my next course coming, 5-week. I'm going to hold your hand and help you to go through all this lash extension journey. I also have free beginner lash guide in the description and a retention ebook if you're having problems with retention. But go follow me on Instagram because I always update you guys there, and I'm always posting tips and mistakes and everything I've done there for free as well, so you can always get so much value from my Instagram. And let's go to the next one. And the 7th tip, I see quite a lot on the internet, is a harsh length transition. So when they don't transition properly from, for example, 8, 9, 10, sometimes people will skip a length or something went wrong on their mapping and it doesn't look good, and then there is a 10 here and then a big step to like a 12. And I've done that before. I have a photo and it looks so terrible. I don't know what I did wrong at the time. I was probably just learning about like layering and stuff and got too excited. And the eyes of my friend, they look so different from one to the other. And they have like big transitions and steps, and I'm really not proud of that. It's a terrible photo, but I'll show you guys just as an example. And nowadays, of course, I have a much smoother, clean transition. So clean transition is all about like having good luxe lashes. It's all about being clean, smooth, natural. Not natural in the sense that they look like your natural lashes, but natural like in the sense that it's not something aggressive on your face, right? It's something that people notice something different, but they're not really sure what it is. Women might notice, but men usually don't know what it is because they don't really understand about makeup and stuff like that. So they're like, oh, you look good. Are those natural? Men always believe that those lash extensions are natural, and you can just tell them, yeah. I have clients that are just like, yeah, they're natural, they're all mine. And they're right, they are theirs. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.